It's easy to look at this slide and think maybe we're a couple cheap juniors who split the cost of a presentation, and then I'm going to try to cram through two companies here. Not what's happening. So I'm chairman of Commander Resources. In December, we announced a merger with Enduro, which we expect to consummate in March. Probably end of March, we'll be closing that. I notice my clock hasn't started yet. Can I talk as long as possible on this slide? There we go, there we go. I know everyone's looking for lunch, and a few of us are looking to use the bathroom too, so I'll get moving here. You know, when we, at Commander, we did a transaction about a year and a bit ago that sold some non-core royalties and cashed up the company, and we had a lot of people come out of the woodworks looking to merge with us, sell us properties, do something with us, because a cashed up junior is a wonderful thing in a bad market. So we went through an exercise of kissing a lot of frogs, a lot. And we ended up settling, you know, on Enduro. This was a company with their Newmont Lake project in the Golden Triangle that was incredibly attractive to us. Almost 700 square kilometers there, and one of the most prolific districts in the world for copper and gold. An existing discovery, a small historic gold resource that we felt combined were really complementary to the core of Commander's portfolio, to great early stage copper gold porphyry projects in two other districts of British Columbia, the Burn project in the Babine, the October Dome project near Mount Polley in the Quesnel terrain. And combining these two companies, the nice thing about this is we put two companies together and we still have a reasonably tight share structure. We have a good cash position. This is almost like investing in a seed vehicle. You know, this is a handful of good projects, a real killer lead project in Newmont Lake, and an excellent management, you know, that we're coming out with here. So Rob Cameron, a very seasoned veteran and excellent explorationist with a history of exploration success, taking over as CEO. Will Slack remaining as president, Steve Weatherup from Commander being VP Exploration, and you'll see me on the board taking a very active role. And take a look at the key shareholders there, right, too. You know, Alex Gubbins, Rob McEwen, Jupiter Funds, Anglo Gold. This is strong backing, and we expect to add some more key names to that in the coming months. You know, the interesting thing about this map is not just the neighbors, you know, that you have Teck, Newmont, et cetera, as your neighbors. It's that there must be 300 to 400 million ounces of gold in this map, right, within 100 kilometers of our project, that were wedged in between, you know, that this project, a scale almost unique for a junior to have a project this large in such a prolific district and in such a key position as well, right? So with the Galore Creek development progressing, with KSM, Eskay Creek, Brucejack, et cetera, this is a great project to have. And the interesting thing about it is it's actually kind of three projects in one, if you think about it that way. There are three loosely defined trends here, our copper line, our McClymont gold line, and the Chachi geochemical anomaly, each with their own sort of geological model and targets. The copper line, this is where Enduro's excellent work led to a discovery of Burgundy Ridge in 2021. That is one of several targets on this line. So that is a bona fide copper gold porphyry discovery there that, you know, was not just that the drill results were pretty exceptional. 331 meters of 0.7% copper equivalent from surface, including 146 meters of 1%. This is basically open in all directions. You know, these porphyries, these Galore Creek style porphyries exist as a series of proximal bodies of reasonably good grade. We found one here, and we have numerous other targets in this area. So it's been about 14,000 meters into Burgundy right now. You know, the deepest hole there ending in 0.6% copper, 0.3 gold, almost 28 grams silver, and about 0.76% zinc, right? So this is a extremely intriguing porphyry discovery that drove Enduro actually to about a $50-60 million market cap post-discovery. And then, you know, market melees brought them all the way down to 5 or 6 now. Uptrend from that, you know, this is a common story in the Golden Triangle. 2 kilometers of ice retreat in the last 20 years has exposed this North Toe porphyry. And this is, you know, in outcrop, you can walk this. Numerous exposures of porphyry mineralization at surface. Not a lot of work done on it there, but up to 4% copper, 7% copper in some locations, up to almost 60 grams gold in grab samples. Now, grab samples are grab samples. I'm not going to sit up here and BS you and tell you that a grab sample is indicative of what a drill hole is going to do, but this is the right first step, right? So this is a brand new area. This is the sort of thing that a project this large with this ice retreat, you can fly around in a helicopter, spot these Gaussons, set your foot on the ground, and pick up mineralization that nobody has seen before. So we intend to pursue this area this summer, do some ground truthing of this, possibly some IP, some really dense soil geochemistry, and really get a handle on what is a structurally complex but highly, highly intriguing potential porphyry deposit. And south of that copper line is the McClymont gold line. This McClymont fault trends all the way through the property and down past Snip is the structural control for the Snip deposit, 20 kilometers southwest of here. The northwest zone had an old historic resource from the 1980s, small but high grade and open pittable. What we understand now, and certainly from recent drilling this past summer from Enduro, 10 grams over 28 meters, a significant golden soil anomaly extending to the south and southwest. This is likely quite a bit larger. This is a gold-rich skarn epithermal hybrid with a causative intrusion that is the same age as the intrusion that caused the Brucejack deposit. So an extremely interesting model here and a bona fide deposit to build on. And lastly, at Newmont Lake project, the Chachi anomaly. This is the largest geochem anomaly on the project, about 4 kilometers by 8 kilometers, hosted in Devonian basement rocks. So very different than what you would expect to see in the Golden Triangle. So a new model, also some nickel cobalt showings here. Could be an older porphyry, could be an IOCG, could be a hybrid. Extremely interesting for us, a lot of ground truthing to do here and a lot of follow-up to do on this. From Commander's portfolio, the Burn project, this we recently got back from Freeport, right proximal to AMARC, our neighbor here, and American Eagle's excellent discovery at NAC. This is a early stage project. Commander staked it, immediately vended it to Freeport, who explored it for 4 years. 14 holes into it, a genuine gold zone there, 140 meters of 0.6 grams gold, 83 meters of that at just over a gram from surface, and a copper zone with modest results, but we would note that we did geophysics post-Freeport handing this back to us and realized that Freeport's drilling in this area really missed the anomaly. So there is a copper-gold porphyry here. There is a pure gold system as well. Definitely needs some additional work, but it's in the right neighborhood. And lastly, in the Commander portfolio, well, I mean, the Commander portfolio actually is a lot more than this as well, but the last significant one that we'll be actively exploring ourselves, the October Dome project right next to the Mount Poly mine and adjacent as well to the old QR gold mine held by Osisko Dev. This is a alkalic porphyry slash gold skarn target and likely deposits. We had already, as Commander, sold adjacent ground to Imperial, having owned the boundary zone near the Mount Poly deposit, which they bought off us a couple of years ago. We understand how to explore in this area. We know what deposits look like. This is an extremely intriguing one that we'll be following up on this year that's unique in terms of having multiple deposit styles on one project. So what does that mean? So this is a combined entity with 3 killer projects, one which is almost 3 projects in one, a good healthy treasury right now, an excellent management team, and a paltry $6 million valuation. I think Rick encouraging you to be cynical about valuations is very fair. I think you look at the precedents for these and the sum of the parts is far beyond that. I'm happy to be focusing a lot more of my time on this. I've put quite a bit of my money into this in the last 4 to 6 months, and likely to be putting in more. I'm extremely excited by this. We're going to have a big year ahead of us. We are here to answer your questions the rest of today. We have a booth number 302 at VRIC as well, and we are in town if you are in town and want to chat. I am existing mostly in the natural state of a geologist right now, which is unemployed, So I am free for coffee with any one of you anytime you want. Thank you.